Thank you for joining us on HXGN TV today. I'm your host, Monica Miller-Rogers. In fast-changing urban environments, particularly for smart city applications, a geospatial base layer goes beyond traditional data products and requires regular updates. To meet this need, Leica Geosystems has just released the new Leica CityMapper, which is part of this Real City solution. Here to tell us more about this innovation is Rudy Wagner, Vice President of Geospatial Imaging at Leica Geosystems. Thank you, Rudy, for being here with us today.
Thanks, Monica.
So tell me, Rudy, what is the CityMapper?
Well, in a nutshell, it's basically the first hybrid airborne sensor specifically designed for urban mapping applications. If you go back for the last couple of years, urban mapping has a special focus because more and more people are moving into urban environments, and urban environments are fast changing. So the need really to update the geospatial base information for smart city applications, but even for day-to-day planning purposes, has increased over time. And traditional imaging has been used to provide data for this. But we've seen that we could speed up this process if we add additional sensors to the mix. And the Leica CityMapper is the first hybrid sensor merging imaging technology in nadir and oblique with LiDAR technology in one pod, basically in one sensor, to really create a comprehensive, or maybe even the most comprehensive, geospatial base information for smart city applications or urban mapping in general.
So definitely combining this oblique and LiDAR, they can go over in one and get twice the information. So what applications is that going to be beneficial for?
Well, you see, in most cases, when you look at urban mapping or when you look at smart city applications, you need a plethora of information. Traditionally, this would be served with orthophotos. This would also be served with digital elevation models. Increasingly, over the last couple of years, we've seen digital surface model coming to the fore. And of course, for visualization purposes, we've seen 3D models plus meshes in this mix. Up until now, you basically either had to have a very great and very large aircraft, or you had to have two aircrafts with two sensors to fly this data and then combine it later in the process. With the CityMapper, we've changed the game in the sense that even with smaller aircraft, which are usually used for urban mapping because of flying restrictions and because, of course, urban areas are not as large compared to an entire country, when you map an entire country, your applications are quite different. So we really designed a sensor that helps our customers to address this market need by flying now in one aircraft two sensors, even in a small or standard installation. And that allows them not only to save money, but in one overpass to create really all the data, or to generate all the data that you would need for this special application. So it's really a sensor that's specifically designed for this urban mapping professional, and it should give our customers and their customers the edge to have, from the same day, all the data available that is necessary to make smarter decisions going forward.
And speaking of the urban professional, now the CityMapper is part of the Real City solution that was released last year. What can you tell us about this Real City solution?
The Real City solution is basically our approach to provide a comprehensive solution to a certain market and no longer just provide a sensor. We've seen over the past couple of years to deliver that geospatial information is not just a matter of technology inside the aircraft, but it's also a matter of workflows that follow and process the data in following the data acquisition. And of course, in urban environments particularly, you want to have this data reasonably quick. We have some customers that map entire cities once a year, but wanting to go to once a month to get this particularly update, because as you can imagine, cities are changing on a daily basis, and if you use it for navigation purposes on its own, if things change inside the town and your navigation is not up to date, then of course that can lead to certain problems, or at least would defeat the purpose. So the sensor and Real City as a comprehensive solution combines not only the hardware technology, but adds the professional and high production workflow solution to the mix, and that makes it easy. This is not entirely new in the sense that software has always been part of the processing, but where it really makes a difference is that because we understand the data so much better, since we are basically manufacturing the sensor as well, we are so close to the entire workflow and to the entire data stream that the speeds that we can generate this information with is unprecedented. And that makes it so compelling for our customers, because now they really can have something from not only one shop, but really from one make, that allows them to acquire the data, well, basically to plan the data, then acquire the data, and process that information and deliver it to the customer in the form of visualization or in the form of data sets that they would use going forward. So really, it's a very, very comprehensive offering that we believe we have the strengths to deliver, and we have, of course, the past experience to deliver. And I think first feedback that we get from our customers that are employing this solution, it's really working.
Great, and that really streamlines the process. But let's go expand this a bit, Rudy. So last year, Leica Geosystems released the Leica DMC3, which is part of the real world solution. What can you tell us about the real world solution versus the Real City solution?
Well, it's basically our approach to what we see in the market, that more and more our geospatial data is verticalized. It's really designed and created for a specific purpose. Real City that we spoke about is really, really focusing on urban mapping. And in urban mapping, you need a variety of data, as I already spoke about, orthophotos, 3D models, and so forth. So the sensor really is designed to provide the data to generate these final products and that information much faster, much easier, and of course more autonomous going forward. With real world, we are really focusing on large area applications, so countrywide mapping, even continent-wide mapping. And of course, in there, the products are slightly differentiated. Your sensor technology has to be slightly different. Therefore, the Leica DMC3, which is a large swath frame camera, is an ideal tool. The Leica ADS is also an ideal tool that would fit into that solution. That really is a workhorse to do countrywide mapping or to do continent-wide mapping in a very, very fast environment and in a very, very fast way. And then, of course, again, combining that with the production workflow, you would create output products that are mostly more focused on 2D applications. Not entirely, we see a lot of 3D applications coming in there as well, but right now it's still focused on 2D, but the key is to have large amounts of data processed very, very quickly, and of course also acquired very, very quickly and efficiently. And flying time is always the key in this. So the technology does play a role, although increasingly I think we see that technology alone is not a game changer. What really makes a solution work is that you have the desired technology that supports that application, combined with the correct workflow that really process the data fast. And then again, it's a matter of scale. If you have a countrywide high-resolution map, your amount of data is slightly different because it's the same type of data, but you've got lots of that. Whereas over an urban environment, you may have higher resolutions, but you have different data sets. From the CityMapper, you have, of course, imaging, and you have LiDAR data sets in the same thing or in the same project, and that requires a slightly different approach. And therefore, we have created these vertical solutions that really allow our customers to select what they need. Of course, both of them are based on our common sensor platform, so hardware focus remains the same. Our customers can, inside the aircraft, exchange installations, really benefiting from the flexibility of the various product lines, saving money there, making it easy on the operator, and the same applies to the workflow. You're doing it all in one GUI, you're doing it in one environment, and that allows our customers very quickly to adapt to the changing needs of the market as well.
Absolutely. And Rudy, you said that the technology itself is not the game changer here, but it's combining that technology with the workflow and with the processes so that things can be streamlined. And Real World and Real City are absolutely doing that. So tell me, where is Leica Geosystems looking to take the airborne industry with these solutions, and maybe even any sneak peeks into innovations that are coming up?
I would like to maybe just say that, of course, the technology is still very important, and we are still very much focusing on driving new innovative technologies into the marketplace. The DMC3 that you mentioned was the first sensor to employ CMOS technology in a large format. The Leica CityMapper really is the first sensor that has a specifically designed LiDAR to meet urban mapping needs, combined with a specifically designed camera. So it's still very important that we have these technologies in the same place, but because we are adding workflows and because it's also a matter of, kind of how quick can I process this data through, the technology is not the one and all that we used to see in the past. Having said that, I think going forward, the Leica CityMapper is certainly an innovative approach. And when we're looking at the CityMapper itself and the bit the ratio why we've developed the CityMapper, you have to go back to the data processing. So this is where it all relates. For instance, if you do an orthophoto, you need to have, to get this orthophoto, a reasonably accurate digital elevation model. If you can generate the digital elevation model inside the same flight, so basically at the same time when you've taken the data, then of course that simplifies the process going forward, because you don't have to match the data. It comes out of the same data stream, and therefore is much easier to be processed. I think for urban mapping, because we see a high need in this market right now, that plays a huge role, but I could see that this plays the same role in any other mapping application going forward, that the combination of different technologies, different data sources, LiDAR, and imaging, and maybe even others, is a good indication of where the future may go, because it not only creates a very cost-competitive sensor, because you really can fly once and acquire a plethora of data sets. That really saves costs, very simple. But at the same time, because you have this time synchronicity on the same data sets, it really simplifies the processing. And when we were looking at large cities like Shanghai, or when we were looking at large cities like even Los Angeles, where we are right now, or the Los Angeles wider area, it's so large and it's changing so quickly. You need to have a solution to provide up-to-date information into the stream, into the downstream of smart city applications, and making smarter decisions going forward. And I think having this hybrid technology is certainly a good starting point. And when you then have workflows that really bring together the data in a more autonomous way, because of course skills has always been a question, particularly in the airborne photogrammetry industry. We've seen this for many, many years, that we are seeing a small skill shortage in people that can perform aerial triangulations and so forth. And the more data you have, the more this data is time synchronous, the easier you can process the data, and of course the easier our customers can deliver the data to the people that really need it.
Which is absolutely a very important part of the airborne altogether. So Rudy, we really look forward to seeing more innovations coming from Leica Geosystems and seeing where the airborne industry is taken by these innovations. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you. We're looking forward to delivering more innovation in the years to come.
For more information on Leica Geosystems, visit leica-geosystems.com. To watch more episodes of HXGN TV, please visit hxgntv.com. Thank you for watching.